All right, now I have them both in the lowest configuration, just so I can put it together so you can see what it looks like. But again, if you want to adjust that height, just flip these guys the opposite direction on the bottom. Raises it about, what, 4 inches or so? And then of course, after you've painted it and you're all done, you're gonna slide your 4x6s in there. I don't have it perfect right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slide these bad boys in. Might be a little tricky to do that, limited space, but these 6-footers seem to be able to fit without you doing anything too drastic. So while I'm doing this, let me tell you about this wood. This wood is a little rougher than I thought it would be. So I think you're gonna have to at least sand, with the sander, you're gonna have to sand a layer off. And I'll show you what that sander looks like here in a second. I think you're gonna have to do that. If you think you want a stain or a clear coat, you can add it, but I'm not necessarily sure it's necessary. So that'll be a personal judgment. I also, when I'm looking at putting these in here, I put your good sides, of course, up, bad sides down. It is, like I said, these 4x4s are a little bit rougher. They are pressure treated, so, you know, if they get wet, they're not going to start rotting. You gotta be just a little bit careful getting these in. Yeah, they're pressure treated, which is a good thing. And it's cool that I have these smaller opening cinder blocks are the base. The larger openings are for the 4x4s. I think that reduces the weight dramatically, so you won't be stressing out your patio. Wow, this piece of wood has a lot of water in it. I can feel it, it's heavy. God, this one specifically is a heavy old 4x4. It's okay though. Hopefully as it dries out, it doesn't start bending, but even if it does, I mean, this is a modern, rustic design. That's actually pretty cool bench. I'm not gonna put a lot of pressure on it, but God, I'm almost thinking this is the right height. But anyway, it's a personal preference. I have the sander. I brought this orbital sander. It's not really an orbital sander, but if you want to look up on YouTube on how to use it, it's pretty easy. Here it is right here. I bought sandpaper for it. You know, you just sand these. I would peel the splinters off like that, and then just, you know, sand it smooth. If you get a splinter caught in the paper, it's going to try to rip it. So I'd probably take some of the hanging stuff off and just sand a layer off that thing. And here's sandpaper I bought. If you wear this one out, probably take you, probably each pole is probably going to be about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes for sanding. You could sand it in this garage realistically if you want to. I did bring you my blower. So once you sand, you can blow it all out of here. The way this works is you take the end of the extension cord and plug it into the back of this. And one of these leads is bigger than the other. Just plug it in. Well, let me show you. Kind of loop it. Kind of loop it through here like this, and then hook it. And then the plug end right here, see that loop? Plug end here, plugs into that over there, keeps it from slipping out of there. And man, this is powerful. It'll blow it all out of here. While you're doing that kind of stuff, I left you some masks. you want to mask up so you're not breathing in that sawdust, and it's gonna get everywhere. So that's these over here. I have work gloves for both of you sitting over here. I would use that when handling this wood, period, in the story. Two things of liquid nails. I think you're only gonna need one, too. And here's the cop gun. And I'm gonna send you a YouTube on how to use this cop gun. And when I say that, you know, most cop guns seem like they're straightforward, but they're kind of not. There's some tips and tricks that you're gonna need to know. So I'll send that to you, but you can see how this thing on the top goes in and out. When you push it down, it comes out. See that? And then the back of this caulk, there's a little tab. And so this plunger kind of presses and pushes it out. So you kind of just drop it in there. Push it tight like that. See how I have that spun up? Again, to release it, push it down, releases it, put it in, like that, push it up, and as you caulk it, that plunger pushes in there and pushes the glue out of there. And one of the questions might be, well, what's this metal thing? Well, that metal thing, you have to cut the end of this tube off. I usually cut it at a slant, then I face the slant downwards. But once you cut that off, there's a piece of tin foil all the way down here at the lid. You use this just to poke a small hole in it to get it going. Then you put it in there, clamp it down, turn this, and then you just caulk it till it comes out. Now when you caulk it and you want it to stop coming out, it's not gonna stop coming out just immediately, because it's gonna have pressure on this thing pushing in there. So what you wanna do is you wanna press this little button here, it pops the pressure off of that plunger, and then it stops coming out of the end. So that's pretty much, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm gonna leave this one in there, I guess. But you can see when I press on this, that lifts up. If this was open, it would start pushing this, I say caulk, it's really heavy duty liquid nails. Works great for the concrete blocks. I would, again, try not to paint the tops and the bottoms where you're gonna connect it. I would glue it up on the patio when you get it where you want it. I would paint it and sand it and prepare everything in here. So when you move it up there, all you're doing is caulking, and it should not go down to the neighbor's patio, and placing the bricks. And your sanding will be done, your painting will be done. You're gonna need to do some touch-up paint in some parts. You may not have it on there the way you did when you painted it the first time. Some might have got chipped off as you're moving it. So you'll just touch that up. You'll set these sides first, and then you'll put the boards in there to make sure it's where you want it. Take the boards. I'm not necessarily sure you have to take them out, but you're gonna have to take them out to glue it down. And then before you use it, I think this stuff says you gotta let it sit for 24 hours. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. I'm leaving it over here. The only other thing I can think of is you're probably gonna wanna bring down a power strip, because I have put an extension cord all the way down, and there's a light right there that I brought so you can move it around the room. There's a light, and you might want to have to plug in multiple items that you're using. Like I could easily see you having the blower plugged in at the same time, the sanders plugged in at the same time, the lights plugged in. Other than that, this is a pretty cool project. I actually like the bench. This bench is going to be pretty cool. Let me know if you want any help with any of it. I think this is a great project for you guys. I can't wait to see see it when it's done. The way I have this configured right now, I probably would do it a little bit different. You see how I have this seam right here? I probably would flip that inside, and the same at the top. I probably would have that flip down on the bottom just to make it smooth all the way around. But anyway, other than that, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this video isn't too long. Love you guys.